what it is exactly simplified in the point of accounts receivables and why it is simplified and what is the new data structure. So we need to understand. Here the point is, so in accounts receivable of existing ERP, we all know we need to create a customers. So when you create a customer and if you convert this customer into business partner, what happened and why, what is the need of converting the customer into business partner? So we need to understand all these reasonings. For that, what I am going to do is, first I will explain what is the difference between existing ERP accounts receivables and in simple finance, why they had changed data architecture. So here you can see in my screen, so this is somewhat, it is integrated with FSCM functionalities. I will tell you how the FSCM functionalities is required. Let's open this. So is anybody know about FSCM functionalities in existing ERP of credit management?
Yeah,
Hello.
last time you gave documents, I'm still looking into that. Like five lessons I covered, six and seven remaining.
Okay. So I had shared you the FSCM sessions. I hope you have verified the FSCM business process, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Did you understand what is the FSCM and why we require the FSCM of business functionalities?
Yeah, like FSCM is basically telling about the customer how to uh, how to
That means I want to ask you one
process
question.
credit.
Did you identify any advantages compared with accounts receivable application?
Yes, there are many advantages. Like for the customer, there are many fields which are activated, like credit management, collection management.
Okay.
So we can do lot of customization and lot of control over the customer can be
That
done
means
using
as a finance
FSCM.
consultant, you think that so FSCM functionalities has more advanced compared with accounts receivable in finance, right?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, Aditya.
Okay, fine. Let me hold this. So here,
Sir,
yes,
and can I ask you one thing, sir?
yes,
And what exactly the difference between the accounts receivable in SAP HANA, this one FSCM, and in SAP
I will
FSCM?
explain.
What
Let
are the
me wait. I will explain all the functionalities.
yes, sir, yes.
See, here, when you talk about the accounts receivable applications in existing ERP, let's say I am a finance consultant and so my company has decided to extend their business functionalities to FSCM credit management. That means some credit management consultant is also required, which is called credit specialist. Now, when you take the existing ERP application, every customer need to convert into FSCM credit management business partner to update some additional features. Why? What is the reason why we need to upgrade this? Because the FSCM is an enhanced feature which is not standardized feature. The company can update this FSCM according to their requirement. It's not mandatory everywhere, but accounts receivable is mandatory everywhere. That means, say as a finance consultant, I created one customer. Now the company has taken a decision according to the business policy, they want to implement FSCM credit management. So what you need to do is, as a credit specialist, you need to convert this customer into business partner of credit management by using master data synchronization. Fine. So, after some time, the company has taken a business decision to extend their business to collections or any other business functionality. In that case also, every time the collection specialist need to concentrate on master data synchronization to convert this customer into business partner. That means what I am saying is, whenever you convert the customer into business partner of relevant business partner roles, so every time some duplication is created. That means, so whenever you convert the customer, in the customer master, already the customer master data is available. Now, if you convert this customer into business partner, again in the business partner, so the same details of the customer will update. So that means what I am saying is the customer master data is available in customer master as well as the same details is available in business partner master record also. That means this is nothing but a duplication, which is called redundant object model. So that is the reason. So what they have done is now in simple finance, whenever you type XD01 or XD02 or XD03 or VD01 or VD02 or FD01, whatever it may be, it is redirected as business partner. So that means there is a specific reason is there. So whenever you convert this customer into business partner of relevant business partner rules according to the organizational requirement, so there is some duplication will be created in database tables. To avoid this inconsistency, they redirected all the customers as business partners in simple finance application, especially from 1511 onwards. So that is the reason here it is called redundant object data models. And number two, whenever you convert the customer into business partner every time, so you need to concentrate on master data synchronization. Let's say you are a credit specialist, you need to concentrate on master data synchronization and you need to convert the customer into business partner. Again, collections people, again they need to concentrate on master data synchronization, they need to convert the customers into business partners. Later the company has taken a decision to extend their business policy with IHC, in-house cash. So in that case also they need to convert the customers into business partners by using master data synchronization. That means everywhere the repeating steps is coming. So these two things, that means the duplication of the data and also the repeating steps, both combined together is known as redundant object data models. So there are redundant object models in traditional ERP system, which is nothing but duplicate data and also the repeating concept. So to avoid this inconsistency, what they have done is here in simple finance, vendor and customer is in use. That means in the background it will create as a vendor and customer. That's fine. But the mandatory target approach in S4 HANA is business partner approach. So that means now if you type XD01, let's say, let's go practically. The same function will work in business partner of vendor also. So whether you can take 1511 or 1610 or 1605, whatever the version is, now if you type XD01, it will redirect it as business partner. So now the screen is totally different. So like this, if you type VD01, so in this case also it is redirecting to business partner. So if you type FD01, in this case also it is redirecting to business partner. That means every time whenever you are going to use the whole transaction is absolute and it is redirected to business partner. So because of this, first we need to understand what is the difference between the business partner of existing ERP and in simple finance, and what is the additional advantages. Here there is a lot of advantages compared with existing ERP. That means compare with customer master. Now, as you ask me the question, what is the difference between FSCM and also the accounts receivable means? In the accounts receivable, we have only some business functions is get updated. But if you come to the FSCM, the complete business cycle is updated. I will explain right now about this. So that means you need to understand the difference between customer and business partner. Why they redirected as business partner? What is the advantages? Here there is a lot of advantages are there. So the main advantages is no need to concentrate on master data synchronization every time. That means say for example, if you create a business partner. So if you create a business partner, representative to the business partner, the customer is also created in the backend system. So the customer is created with the reference of business partner. That is one point. Second point, you can extend the sales and distribution data also in the FI customer. No need to concentrate on partner determinations. This is second advantage. And third advantage, So you can extend multiple relationships whatever we require. Say for example contact person, so accounting clerk, so like this you can add multiple relationship without any restrictions in your business partner screen. So that means this is the third advantage. And the fourth advantage is no need to convert every time. So the business partner has new business functionality. That means no need to convert into the credit management business partner, no need to convert into the collections management business partner, no need to convert into the any other new business functionality. So directly you can use the same business partner everywhere without mapping the master data synchronization. This is fourth advantage. Then so once if you go to the practical scenario, you can understand. So that is the reason. That means compare with the customer, the business partner is more advanced and it has more advanced features. Because of that, now in simple finance, they redirected the customers as business partners. This is one point. That means where the change is occurred means first we need to understand about business partner. So now the business partner is now capable of central managing master data for business partners, customers and vendors. With current development of ERP, so the BP is the single point of entry to create, edit and display master data for business partners. That means no need to remember the transaction, all the transaction codes. Directly you can use the transaction as BP and you can enter into the system. Then that means the first change is business partner. Instead of customer, we need to concentrate on business partner. Number two, as we know, in simple finance, there is a concept of universal general. That means in existing ERP, we have multiple tables are there, which stores the information as open items in BSID and cleared items in BSAD. Now, at the time of reconciliation, so what we are going to do is we are asking the BW consultant to extract this information from BSID and BSAD to consolidate. So the BW consultant is going to use a different extractors and they are going to extract this information and they are updating into the data cube. So all these things are not required in simple finance application. Why? Because is since we have different tables are there in existing ERP, but in simple finance we have only one table concept, which is also known as universal general. The name it is indicating that it's a universal general. That means every information, whether it is finance or CO, whether it is open item or cleared item or cost item, whatever it may be, it stores the information in one table. So if the data is get stored in one table, automatic reconciliation takes place. That means now if you see, if both our items are close items and stores in one place, open items and closed items are stored in one place, automatic reconciliation will take place. Now both items, whether it is open or closed, the information is updated into the ACDOCA. This is the table name. So the ACDOCA, but it will show as a view in the whole tables also. That means only one point. Every information, whatever we are giving as a input, whether it is open item or cleared item or anything else, it stores the information directly into ACDOCA, which is universal general for reconciliation purpose, but it will show as a view in the old tables also. So it is not stored in old tables. It will show only as a view in old tables. So this is change in the data architecture. That means change in the business partner, change in the data architecture. Now come to the third point. So here, when you are talking about simple finance, so there is no AR credit management. The AR credit management is completely removed. Then we have a question. So why it is completely removed? What is the reason behind this? So here, if you understand the FSCM business functionality, you can say whether the AR credit management is more suitable to the business organization or else FSCM is more suitable to the business organization. For this, here you can see. Let us talk about accounts receivables. So I want to ask you one question. Let's say you are a accounts receivable consultant. So you are going to give the credit to the customer. So this is your objective. Fine. So what we are doing? So the salespeople is going to create the customer, and for that customer we are going to update some invoice. And once the invoice is generated, so these data is get forward to the background process to check and verify the customer credentials. And we are going to check each and every activity based on the organization policy. We are giving the credit to the customer. In this, is there any statically check of credit management? That means how much credit we can give, exactly we can give to the customer, is there or not? Seven, in accounts
Yes,
receivable,
sir, it will be nice. Yes,
in,
sir, it will be nice, sir. We will give the customer for means while creating the transactions, we will give some limit, no, sir, to them.
and from where that limit is coming?
Uh, means
Nothing but according to organization policy. For all high
yes,
preferred
sir. Yes,
customer, we need to give this such a credit up to this credit. And for low preferred customers, medium preferred
yes,
customers,
sir.
according to the organization policy, you are giving the credit, not according to
Yes,
the
sir.
analysis of the customer. So
Yes, yes.
if you compare with FSCM credit management, so what happened? So whenever a customer approach to the organization, the salespeople is going to update this information of the customer, and these data is get forward to external rating people. The external rating people means it's a Cybel, Crystal. So like this, we have some external rating agencies are there. So whenever the data is get passed to the external rating people, they are going to analyze the customer. So whether he is a desirable customer or undesirable customer based on his existing previous payment behavior, and also the dunning procedure, disputes. They are going to check all the they will verify all possible activities of the customer, and they are giving that whether the customer is desirable or undesirable. Based on that, the ranking and rating will be issued. Then this rating and ranking is updated in external system, not in SAP system. Now, if you want to convert this data into SAP data, the XIPI people is the responsible person to convert the non-SAP data into SAP data. Okay, the technical people will take care of all these things, and they will convert into the customer into SAP information. Now, once it came into the SAP, in the credit management, in the FSCM credit management, we are going to analyze all possible activities of the customer. That means we are going to update the rating and ranking. We are going to update the credit requested by the customer. We are going to update the limit defined by the organization based on limit formula, and we are going to evaluate the scoring points issued to the customer, and also we are going to update the document value of the sales order or accounts receivable data. Based on all these things, the credit exposure will be calculated. That means compare with accounts receivable. In accounts receivable, directly according to the organization policy, you are giving the credit to the customer. But in FSCM, we are analyzing the customer in all possible activities, and then we are going to issue the credit called credit exposure. Then this is the difference between accounts receivable credit management and FSCM credit management. Then later on, whenever the credit is issued in existing ERP, let's talk in existing ERP. After issuing the credit, the data is passed to the dunning people. So if the customer is defaulted, so based on the payment terms, then the people are going to send the dunning notice to the customer. Let's say the first letter, second letter, and legal notice. The customer did not respond to your call. Then what you are doing the balance amount? Any one of you?
Bad debt.
So that means you need to run the auto write off, and then it will convert into the bad debts. If you convert into the bad debts, the organization is losing their money or not?
Yes.
So that means this policy is not correct. Now come to FSCM process. After issuing the credit in FSCM credit management, this data is passed to the AR people for recording of invoice and down payment and other activities in the accounting form. Then again from the FI people, the data is forward to the collection people. The collection people is the responsible person to see how the work list will be generated. That means in the work list itself, we have a payment terms. That means which is also called as installment plans. So based on the installment plans, whether the payments are deducted or not. So after that, the customer contact reason, if it is failed, resubmission. So after resubmission, even though the customer did not respond, dunning notice. Fine. After sending the dunning notice, the customer did not respond to the call. All these things are updated in the work list. That means in a single statement, you can see every information of the customer in work list, which is the part of collections management. Then, if the customer did not respond to the after raising the dunning notice also, in existing ERP, you are converting into the bad debts, and organization is losing their money if they convert into the bad debts. But if you come to the FSCM, after collections management, even though if the customer did not respond for the dunning notice, these data is get forward to the dispute management. So in the dispute management, we have three types of scenarios. Whenever the balance payment is there, for that you are raising the dispute case. So once you raise the dispute case, if the customer respond and if we clear the payment, then the dispute case is closed. There is no issues. And in second scenario, if the customer respond to the dispute case but he is able to clear only the partial payment of disputed amount, then cleared payment is get updated and the balance payment is in dispute only. Then in the third case, if the customer did not respond for the dispute also, in that case you need to run it as auto write off, then the balance amount is converted into the bad debts. But here, whenever you convert into the auto write off, automatically the message will be triggered to the external rating people, and in the future if the customer want to get any credit from your organization or any other organization, his rating will fall. The same principle works in our daily life with credit card system also. If you take any credit card from any other bank, so once if you get defaulted, you are not getting any credit limit from same bank or from any other bank. So that same principle will works in FSCM business policy also. So that is the reason most of the customers, once the company implemented FSCM, they will get aware of this and there is no default of bad debts. So now tell me whether the AR process is benefitable or FSCM business process is benefitable, which is most suitable to the organization.
SSCM.
So you are saying that as a finance consultant, you feel that the FSCM has more benefits compared with accounts receivable credit management. So that is the reason in existing ERP also, most of the organizations, they move to the FSCM business policy. So now if you come to the simple finance, so you are saying that as a finance consultant, you are saying that compared with accounts receivable, FSCM has more advantages. So that is the reason. So here if you see whether it is 1511 or 1610, this functionality is not there in 1503. Please don't follow the 1503 versions in any case. So here 1610 is the latest version. Open the document, credit management. Now see, the credit management, AR credit management is not the part of S4 HANA. The functional equivalent in S4 HANA in F is FSCM credit management. So that means what it is clearly saying is the migration from FIAR credit management to FSCM credit management is mandatory. So all the transactions, whatever we are commonly using in credit management, is no more available in simple finance. So the reports not available in S4 with credit management, AR credit management reports. Everything is redirected and it is simplified with FSCM business policy. So that is the reason it is always the FSCM credit management knowledge is required to learn simple finance applications. Then we have a question. Sir, we don't know FSCM, what we need to do? So because of this, according to my experience, I work in FSCM for 5 projects and I have trained a lot of students. Based on my experience, I had updated the FSCM recordings for credit, collections and disputes with FSCM business policy along with the documents. So what you need to do is to understand this point. That means we need to understand about the credit management of FSCM in simple finance. For that you require the FSCM knowledge. So you can use these recordings and you can enhance your knowledge in the point of FSCM also. So then only you can understand the perfect picture of accounts receivable with credit management in simple finance. Okay. Now, so let's come back. So now you think that the FSCM functionality is more advanced compared with AR functionalities in existing ERP. That is the reason in simple finance also they have removed this accounts receivable and they have redirected to FSCM business policy. Again, here there is three things are there which you need to remember. So in existing ERP, if the company implemented only accounts receivable application and if this data is migrated into the simple finance, then what we need to do? Hence, the credit management is not available. In this case, you need to implement each and every step of FSCM functionalities. That means you require knowledge in this area. So you need to implement each and every step of credit management, credit risk monitoring, and also integration with accounts receivables and sales and distribution along with bodies. So without this knowledge, you cannot perform any activity. Point number one. If the company implemented only accounts receivable application in existing ERP with the credit management, now if you migrate into the simple finance, the first job is you need to implement the credit management of FSCM. After this, you need to run migration to FSCM business policy. That means, along with the implementation of FSCM, you need to run the properties per activating and also migration of customization for credit management. Additional steps you need to run because the AR credit management data need to fetch into the FSCM credit management data in simple finance. To adjust this information, you need to run the additional steps under migration. Then, point number two. In existing ERP, already the AR credit management is implemented as well as the FSCM credit management is also implemented. Then you migrate this information into the simple finance. In this case, no need to implement each and every step of credit management under FSCM functionality. Directly you can go to migration and you can run this credit management migration steps to adjust this information into the simple finance updates. So no need to run each and every step of FSCM in this case. And come to the third point. So when you are talking about greenfield implementation, a fresh implementation, in this case, the AR credit management is no more available in simple finance. So that is the reason we don't have other choice. You need to follow all the functionalities relevant to FSCM. In that case, no need to run this additional steps of migration activity because we are not concentrating on migration. We are concentrating on greenfield. So these are the three types of scenarios which you need to remember before going to enter into the project. So that means number one, business partner change, and number two, the data architecture change, and number three, the business policy has been changed to FSCM for credit management. So that is the reason. For easy understanding, what I have done is I have divided the concept into two categories. One is without credit management. So, and also with the credit management. In without credit management or with credit management, the business partner approach is same. So you require to understand about practically about the business partner approach. So, and also the technical change. So after posting the transaction, what happened? In both the scenarios, that these two functionalities are same, business partner approach and technical approach. But if you come to the second scenario, if the company is not following with credit management, then you can follow with first scenario. If the company is following with the credit management, in that case, without understanding the FSCM policy, it is not possible. So that is the reason I divided into two categories. In the live session, I am going to explain about the business partner approach practically with each and every step. Then also, after posting the transaction, we will see the technical effect also. To understand the second scenario, first you need to refer the FSCM credit management. And once if you perfect in FSCM credit management, if you have any questions, then I will explain about this with the credit management functionalities. So that means if anybody asks you, so what is the difference between compare with existing ERP to simple finance accounts receivable means three major changes. One is business partner. Now there is no customer. Customer is redirected as business partner. For this, we need to understand master data synchronization. And number two, so the AR credit management is no more available in simple finance. In that place, the FSCM came into the picture because the FSCM is more powerful tool compared with AR credit management. And number three, change in the data architecture. Every information, whether it is open item or cleared item, is get directly stored in one table for reconciliation purpose. So these are the difference between existing ERP and also the simple finance application, because most of the people have these questions why they made it as mandatory. FSCM is mandatory, so why not we use like AR credit management? Once if you understand this business policy, you can understand what is the advantage of FSCM functionalities even in existing ERP also. So here you can see I had mentioned what is the goal of credit management. The main goal of credit management is to reduce the payment failures by early detection of high risk customers, by taking appropriate actions in appropriate measures, have good assessment of risk profile of your customer base, and advise the salespeople whenever it is required, and do not impede daily business process because it's very difficult. Monitoring everything, but action will be taken only necessary wherever it is required. This is the main goal of credit management. So if you compare with AR, so let's come back with AR application, the internal factors. So in the AR, the credit decision for the business partner are not often take based on local and sales office. That is the reason, so that it is converted as business partner. Available information is often not used, insufficient use, such as sales representative are not asking any structured way to contribute their information to risk assessment of business partner, or the information is not stored directly into the credit management system. External rating information of the business partner is not matched with internal data on the business partner. No credit policy. So no standardized uni-based credit worthiness evaluation process of business partners. No customer's credit score is developed to access credit worthiness of the business partner. No segmentation of the customer base according to the risk criteria. That means therefore the at the end of the day the insufficient portfolio is generated in the accounts receivable credit management. Now if you come to credit management in FSCM, development and implement a credit policy, define the test customer's credit score, define the risk class system to segment your customer portfolio, define credit limit and credit worthiness, and you can check the rules. Apply credit policy, scorecards, risk class segmentation, credit worthiness, real time and automated process will be updated to business partners. Set up early warning mechanism for proactive credit management, and also set up the monitoring mechanism to allow portfolio control of your customer base. So these are the advantages. Now if you come to the collections management, I will recommend you to follow with credit, collections and disputes in the FSCM business policy. So even though collections and disputes is not mandatory in simple finance, but I am recommending you to follow this also. So this will allow the collections management to support in active receivables management using collection strategies, and you can evaluate the priority customers for receivables management, customers that fulfill the rules defined in the strategy, and distribute the work list for the collection specialist. The collection specialist then contact the customers in their order of priority in order to collect the receivables. So that means it gives some structural way like that. For dispute management also, so the dispute management, you can manage the dispute case that refers to the object in accounting, simplify the entries of such dispute cases, make the dispute case visible in accounting transactions, updating the information in the dispute case in clear transaction for offsetting functionalities also. This enables the accounting clerk to include other colleagues and departments in finding a solution to the dispute case for the transaction. So this is one of the additional advantage. So now I hope you understand about what are the changes occurred in simple finance about the customer. Then number 2, data architecture, and number 3, credit management, and why we require the FSCM credit management as mandatory field. Is it clear to everyone? Hello.
Yes, Aditya.
Yeah, is it clear?